I love the "Are you sure" screens.
I know.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't sure.
Oh, look, company.
Hmm.
Okay.
Do I really not
Um,
follow you? What?
okay. Oh, I love this. My granddaughter is Hortensia in Matilda the musical today.
Oh, what a great name. Hortensia.
Yeah. Share to a friend, and that will be Annie.
Hi, I love
And
you. I just started a live streaming show. Can I call you when it's over?
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, I love
invite
you.
them. And Laura.
That was my son.
Well, invite him. We'll be happy to have him.
You should have him on.
Okay.
All right. I see us.
So
Yes.
uh, we're on your music page, right?
No, you're on my profile.
But now
Because,
I'm on mine and I see us. We'll
yes.
be delayed, obviously, but so
Ay, ay,
happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. So, welcome everybody, including our friends who are watching on Facebook in various places. Hello, Phil. Um, this is the Any Sunday Songwriters show, and my name is Jan Sidis. And the name comes from about 2 seconds after the pandemic started, and the place that I had a monthly residency closed. I had the second Sunday there, and about 2 seconds after I decided to put it online, I realized I was no longer stuck with the second Sunday. I could do this any Sunday I wanted. So here we are, Any Sunday Songwriters, and my guest today, I am so excited to tell you. To my right is Annie Capps. She's actually to my left as I'm looking at her. Annie is from just outside Ann Arbor, and I have known about Annie and her husband Rod's music for a century or two, possibly more.
Hey now.
And I've been admiring, hey, look, I didn't say anything about you that I didn't say about myself.
We're all just getting up there. Look how
Yeah.
good we look.
And there you go. We're still here and we're still making music, and Annie's and Rod's and Annie and Rod together are all fabulous. And down in catty corner to me is Laura Zucker, who is from the opposite end of the country. She's in Northern California, just east of San Francisco. And I've known about Laura since the Songwriters Serenade songwriting competition in
2014.
oh, she's not shy at all about when it was.
2014.
2014,
Almost
9 years
10 years ago.
ago.
I know. It was the best because I got to meet you, and we've been doing music since then.
Crossing paths, yeah, yes, we have. Laura won my heart, however, at a SWRFA, Southwest Regional Folk Alliance, when she said, well, we're doing this entrepreneurs conversation and I want you to come. And I said, entrepreneur? And she said, well, yeah, you're doing this and you're doing that. And I said, oh, cobbling a living together. Yes, okay, I'll be there.
Like, how do we make this work?
Yeah, yeah. So you
No.
are, everybody who's here is in for a serious treat. I'm so excited. Annie, would you like to kick us off?
Sure thing. I'd be happy to. I'm coming off of the release of a brand new record that is a solo. You mentioned me and Rod, and yes, of course, Rod and I are, still happy and still together. People ask us that since I put out this solo record, but I wanted to do something different, and a bunch of songs came up that had me processing my, I don't know, childhood memories from a place of perspective, which was pretty cool that I could actually look at them in a different way. And So this little vulnerable expose kicks off with a song that finds me in my childhood basement. So. Back on the corner of Sin and Sacrament, little girls in plaid skirts on their knees spent, begging for forgiveness, not one was innocent. 'Cause there was an apple and there was a serpent. Down in the basement, the boys came and went. I was playing Lois Lane to their Clark Kent, and that man of steel was preparing for his grand ascent. 'Cause there was an apple and there was a serpent. Oh, my Eden, lead me not into temptation, but deliver my soul. This heart was hell-bent on trying to make love, not trying to prevent a future that would look so different. 'Cause there was an apple and there was a serpent. Oh, my Eden, lead me not into temptation, but deliver my soul. This heart was hell-bent on trying to make love, not trying to prevent a future that would look so different. 'Cause there was an apple and there was a serpent. And where there's an apple, there is a serpent.
Gorgeous. Is that on your next album?
It's on the one that it's on the Chicky record. It's on the
Ah.
All Girl album. It's on the one that just came out officially in January, and yeah, it's the opening track, the lead track.
Gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
So, Laura, what have you got for us?
Well, first I want to say that to a certain viewing party, you don't have to have your video on to hear my audio. Yeah, you. So if you go down to the bottom left and you hover over the bottom left, you'll see stop video. And you can click that and then you can just hear me.
Not that we don't like seeing your shining
not that we don't-
face.
Okay, so I'm going to have to out you. My mom and my sister are listening, and my mom does not ever want to be seen on video-y things. So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that's
she was helping her. There you go.
There you go. And you're back. Okay, so as long as she's listening, I have to do this song. A while ago, as I mentioned, I am a recovering lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay, you do need
I
to
know.
mute yourself, though. Okay, thank you. And so I wanted to find out about how my mother and father met and their first date and all of that. And so I actually deposed my mother. I sat her down and asked her deposition questions and parts and subparts. And if yes, then move, move to question 6.
You know, that expression, I composed my mother, is funny. I was wondering, I composed a song. Oh, I composed my mother. I get it. I do get it.
So this is actually By the Refinery Lights, a love song. 99.7% true. She was just a schoolgirl, only 17, on the afternoon that they met. At the radio station, she was at the microphone singing a Mozart duet. Well, he was all of 22, fresh from the army. He was charming and handsome and worldly. In the engineer seat behind the glass wall, dreaming of what his life could be. Well, he was struck by her beauty. She was shy in his sights, and neither imagined that soon they would kiss by the refinery lights, by the refinery lights. So he wrote her a letter, she replied. He came to pick her up in his beat-up old car. The radio was broken, so he improvised, and she laughed until she cried. And they parked and talked for hours, long into the night, and neither imagined that they'd fall in love by the refinery lights, by the refinery lights. The huge Hess oil refinery lit up the sky for a mile or more. Well, they thought it looked like a magical ship washed up on their shore. They'd never noticed before. They parked in the shadow of tanks and of towers and pipes where the oil was carried. And there in the glow of the beacons and flames, he asked if she'd like to be married. Well, she was his for the asking, and they held each other tight, because neither imagined that life would begin by the refinery lights, by the refinery lights, by the refinery lights.
Wow, what a beautiful tribute.
Really?
Okay, here's the 0.3% that was not true, that she took issue with. She said, he had to ask me twice. Am I right? Okay. And that she was just a tad bit older than 17, but, songwriter's license.
Exactly.
18 doesn't work quite as well. So that's that.
Nope. If you need 3 syllables, 17 is your answer.
Oh, that is just absolutely lovely, powerful song.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
writing that.
It is, and I've got to say that having driven across Louisiana and southeast Texas to get home after many days on the road, um, those refineries look like something out of a fairy tale when you're going through there at night. And I ended up writing a song about them myself, which I haven't done in centuries, so I'm not going to do it now. But but it's just such, and actually if you drive across West Texas coming the other way, alongside there's a water treatment plant that's painted entirely white and from a distance looks like a castle. So I had plenty of fodder for my song. It's called Illusions. um, but I'm not going to sing about that right now because um, we have we have a very strange family in which people didn't talk to each other for around 100 years. um, or anyway, the problem started around 100 years ago. So in 2003, we had our first family reunion in 100 years. And to the point where nobody really knew about anybody else's existence. When the person who put it together, it turns out that Judy Resnick was my cousin, which I didn't have a chance to meet her before she was gone, and I would have loved to. But everybody knew they were related to her, but they didn't know about the other three or 400. And so this family reunion was a real revelation. Well, not too long ago, I was listening to a podcast, and it struck me that it was time to have another one. That was 20 years ago. So this I wrote this song for the first one, and I'm going to play it again at the new one in July, about which I am so excited. I am descended from people who died for their difference, and I am born of brave ones who came to these shores. And I am the child of folks who worked hard for their living. And I'm like me, every one of them wondered sometimes what for. Through trouble and tribulations, the rise and fall of civilizations, every generation dreams of a better life. So we are the reason for their journey. They are the reason for ours. Love is the question posed by our children. Love was the answer given to us. Those great grandmothers sure must have loved their babies. 'Cause I am a mother, I know it's hard to let go. And those great grandfathers must have believed in the future. 'Cause those sons and daughters were their vessels of hope. Through trouble and tribulations, the rise and fall of civilizations, every generation dreams of a better life. So we are the reason for their journey, and they are the reason for ours. Love is the message we give to our children. Love was the message given to us. Looking in each of your faces, I see my own face in yours. United in aspiration, you make me see what a gift it is to be born. children. Love was the treasure given in trust to us, and love is the reason it always was.
Yeah, great song, Jan.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Thanks. So we're going to just keep going round and round like that.
The circle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't. I'm sorry, I'm tangled up here.
Yeah. Can you, everybody who's not playing and singing, can you mute yourself? Bottom left, mute, and you can also stop your video if you want to. But click on that little bottom left microphone. All right, there you go. Thank you. Bye now.
Thanks, Laura. I have to say, it was super fun to watch I think it's your sister singing along. That was super sweet and lovely. And you guys are writing these lovely songs about family and just these heartwarming things. And I'm going to write a song about family of a different sort. Sorry. It's going to be my job to bring in some of the darker side, I suppose, today. Not through the whole set, but I feel like I need to jump into the second track on this record of mine.
Not mute.
Jan could conceivably make it so that people can't accidentally unmute themselves if you change the settings you might want to do that. But then we wouldn't be able to unmute ourselves either, so we'd have to either be co-hosts or just you'd have to ask us to unmute every time. Anyway, this is
So like I said, love the writing, love the singing, the technology, not so much.
I know, isn't it? I totally hear you.
All right, sorry. Going now.
No, it's all right. I'm just going to dive into this tune. This is, childhood impressionist moments when, as you're a kid and you're learning things from watching the adults around you and the kinds of things you learn. And some of it's good and some of it isn't. Waste a good drunk when there's so much power in a sharp tongue. Down the hatch, drop my guard, open to his thirst. Learning sometimes hurts. And I was taught the way to win affection from a master of deception. Now he's trying not to wake me while he buttons up his shirt. Learning sometimes hurts. Oh, I learned to be a devil when the angel wasn't looking. And I learned there are secrets you don't tell. I learned that folks like me are going straight to hell. Why'd they teach us that Columbus was a hero? And why do some boys hear yes when you say no? Then look at you with eyes that say we get what we deserve. Learning sometimes hurts. Strike a match, step back and watch it burn. 'Cause I was taught a different kind of lesson using my mother's favorite weapon. She said forgiveness isn't easy when they're treating you like dirt, but learning sometimes hurts. Yeah, I learned about forgiveness from someone who had it worse. I was taught that learning sometimes hurts.
No, thank you.
No, you sure?
I'm sure. If anything, I'd like a glass of water.
Oh, I took away your
Me
name.
too.
Hey, please mute. Please mute.
Okay.
Please mute. Just stay on mute. That would be great. Perfect.
you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, Annie. After I've got my breath back,
Oh.
that was pretty darn stunning.
Thank you.
No kidding.
I know. See, this is both what I love and what I fear about in the rounds is that you're following somebody who just like decimated you with the power of their song, and then you have to follow that with something.
I have faith in you, honey.
Hey, thank you. Woo! All right. So then, let's see. A family. I detect a family theme here. I can keep that going. I just want to interject one little thing. Phil Bierce is on this Zoom. Phil Bierce is a fearless, phenomenal songwriter who participates in that February album writing month like every year. Every chance he gets to just write his full head off, he does, and he comes up with these great songs and he builds great guitars. And so I just want to give Phil a little shout out. Hey, Phil. So let's see. Let's do this one. This is also off. I have a new record. And an out of tune guitar. It's called Lifeline. Oh, hey, look. I have a copy of it right here. What? It's available on all major outlets, although we would prefer that you not stream with Spotify because they steal everybody's money. Did I say that out loud? Are they going to take me off and deny me my 16 cents a year? What? Okay, I'll stop. These are songs that I could not have written at any other time in my life. These songs on this record are sort of the kind of insight into your life that you can only get to with hindsight. And so this one, it's called Time, Love. It's about you. I'm going to say you, or I'll say me, and then I know that I mean all of you, because if I feel it, I'm sure that lots of other people do too. Sometimes you don't want to feel what you're feeling because it will unseat you. It will take you to a place that you're not familiar with or you're not sure you want to go. And sometimes you just don't have a choice. It just happens to you. If I feel it, it becomes real. Roots take hold, tendrils grow. They steal my breath away. Hey, hey. And there is nothing to defeat it, to stop the steady growing of the vine. When you came along, I was in my summer, heading for my fall. Nothing ever made me feel so weak and so strong, both and all. I carefully laid armor on a nerve newly laid raw. It's all that I am, for all that you are. 'Cause if I feel it, it becomes real. Roots take hold, tendrils grow, they steal my breath away. Hey, hey. And there's nothing to defeat it, to stop the steady growing of the vine. It's time, it's love, intertwined. I can't contain the tangle, it becomes my bones. So I face it, I embrace it. I'm the keeper of the temple, overgrown. It will be this way forever, a blessing and a curse, I know it will. For every year that passes, sows seeds still. Roots grow ever deeper while branches brush the sky. I learn to love the vine that keeps my heart alive. 'Cause if I feel it, it becomes real. Roots take hold, tendrils grow, they steal my breath away. Hey, hey. There's nothing to defeat it, to stop the steady growing of the vine. It's time, it's love, intertwined. It's time, it's love, intertwined.
How lovely.
That's beautiful, Laura. Just beautiful.
I listened to your album all the way to Coffeeville, Kansas, and all the way back.
You.
It made great comfort for the fact that I was driving to Coffeeville, Kansas.
Is there more of that story? What the heck was Coffeeville, Kansas?
Oh, you should know about this. Coffeeville, Kansas invites musicians to come and sing at their community college in Coffeeville, Kansas, and also at the high school for an entire day, one assembly after another. That's about 25 miles down the road. And then the rest of the week you spend at various retirement homes.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, I mean it's very entertaining from the I imagine from the audience's point of view, but it's also entertaining for the person doing it, except for maybe the all day at the high school. But the kids are really sweet and they're really unspoiled, and they live in the middle of nowhere town, Texas, not Texas, Kansas. So a lot of the city negative influences never reach where they are in any way. They're too busy helping out on the farm. But anyway, it's a lot of fun to do. And if you like, I can send you all the information and you can contact the person who books it because it pays very decently, I must
Road
say.
trip, road
Yeah,
trip,
exactly.
road trip. Let's all go.
But here, road trip to San Francisco is one thing. Road trip to Coffeyville, Kansas is something else entirely. So,
Go where we're called. We go where we're called.
exactly. Though I love that song you did, Laura. I'm going with the dark side. Thank you, Annie. um, if I remember how to do it. There's a mirror in my bedroom to show me who I am, but the woman in it isn't me. These mirrors just reflect, they show what you're expecting, so what you get's not necessarily what you see, 'cause that's the way of dishonesty. See the lies that I have told, the truths that I've misspoken, the answers I have phrased so carefully. Here an act of less than kindness, there a bit of willful blindness, but then everyone is blind to what they don't want to see, 'cause that's the way of dishonesty. But I have secrets no one knows, I have scars upon my soul, I have dreams crying out to be free. There is wisdom I must earn and lessons I must learn, or else this is the way my whole life will be. There's a tree outside my window, and it sways in every breeze, but it still grows tall with graceful dignity. Gonna make that tree my symbol, stop going where the wind blows, stop trying to be what I think someone else thinks I should be, 'cause that's the way of dishonesty. Yes, that's the way of dishonesty.
Every time you do a song, I'm more impressed by your songwriting. You're a really
Thank
incredible
you.
songwriter. Oh yeah, every time it's like wow, and then it goes to an 8, and then it goes wow to a 9. It's like wow, wow.
Thank you, Gaia.
Wow. Yeah. That is heavy there, Jan.
So I said to the producer of that album, I said, "Are you sure you want that one?" And he goes, "I ain't afraid of the dark."
Good. Good. Whoa. Sorry, almost fell back. Cool. Well, you set me up perfectly for what I wasn't sure I was going to play next, but I think I need to dive into the title track off this record that I'm regaling you with. And part of the reason I'm playing all these songs, particularly, not that I won't play songs that Rod and I did together, but I'd have to call him downstairs to fill his parts. But I want to be very clear, this song is not about my husband. It is, however, a breakup song. It's called How Can I Say This? And this is actually me breaking up with the voices in my head, because we all have them. And they all come from various places in our lives, whether it's our mother or father or siblings or society and, even some of our friends. So here's to all of you and breaking up with those negative voices. I love you more than I ever can say, but I need you to leave me alone. It's not you, it's me, goes the dreaded cliche, bending your will to my own. How can I say this without breaking your heart? You are the voice I've been holding on to. Now I need you to leave me alone. Losing myself in this longing for you, my power has been overthrown. How can I say this without breaking your heart? How can I say this without breaking your heart? I just need to know what it feels like. I need to know what it feels like without you under my skin, indelibly attached to my trembling bones. You are a part of my anatomy, but I need you to leave me alone. How can I say this without breaking your heart? How can I say this without breaking your heart? Bloodshot from weeping, my Polaroid eyes are fading into monochrome. You are the dusk devoid of fireflies, and I need you to leave me alone. How can I say this without breaking your heart? Please let me say this without breaking your heart. How can I say this? I love you more than I ever can say, but I need you to leave me alone.
Wow, great song.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Loved it.
I promise I'll lighten up at some point or another.
We love you however we get you, Annie.
And you set me up perfectly, so thank you. Because, also in these rounds, you're sitting there trying not to think about what the next song you're going to play is, to kind of go with the flow and compliment what came before you and what's going to come after you. And it's like getting out of the habit of like listening to somebody while you're just thinking about what you're going to say next. Is that the in the round equivalent? But truthfully, I went through about 4 different songs. Oh, okay. So, thank you for setting me up. And because we're emanating from Austin, Texas. Seems appropriate that I put on my cowboy boots, which I'm not wearing right now because I'm also sitting down. You know, I know, Jan, you would be the first one to tell me you should not be singing sitting down. And yet,
It's true, you shouldn't, but we do.
but we do. So, Annie, the name of this song is No Good Way to Say Goodbye. I took back the note that I left by your side of the bed. It didn't come close to how I worked it out in my head. But as I watched from the second floor window when you drove away, I think I finally found the only words there are to say. That is, there's no good way to say goodbye when there's no one to blame, just tears left to cry. But I won't be the one to clip these wings that you found to fly. There's just no good way to say goodbye. I knew that your leaving was only a matter of time. My rose-colored glasses made me temporarily blind. So I've only myself to blame if this came as a surprise. But all the same, inside, a little part of me has died. But you know there's no good way to say goodbye. There's no one to blame, just tears left to cry. Yet I won't be the one to clip these wings that you found to fly. There's just no good way to say goodbye. I wish I could forget you. I wish I could be mad. 'Cause I just don't know how to be this sad. 'Cause there's no good way to say goodbye. There's no one to blame, just tears left to cry. And I won't be the one to clip these wings that you found to fly.
Um, let me put a word in here just briefly so that everybody knows about it. If you unmute while somebody's singing, their voice drops. So please don't do that. You have to be kind of a Zoom veteran to know that, but that is actually the case. So, Laura, that song invariably, all the way home and all the way to Coffeeville, gave me a case of what Claudia Schmidt calls singer's Tourette's, you know, where you have to sing harmony or burst.
I saw you, and I
Yeah,
could hear it. I could hear it in my mind's ear.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So, actually, the time has come to ask this burning question since you've got your mute off. Where are you going to be next, and where can people find you online?
Thank you for asking because I play entire shows, I do entire tours, and I don't talk about my website or my merch or because I'm having such a good time. I will actually be in Houston on the that's not right. Actually, I'll be in Glenside, PA on May 4th at the Philadelphia Songwriters in the Round. I'll be playing around with, I should have been ready for this. I am so bad. Megan Carey, Jenny Englund, and Emily, whose name just fell out of my head. But
What an
I will
unusual
put a
last
link
name.
in the chat. Oh, bad me. And then after that, I will be in Houston on the 10th, doing a few songs in the round with Alex Koba, Matt Harlan, and Cheryl Kaywood before I head down to this Songwriter Serenade where I'm going again. It's where I met you, Jan. It's really cool songwriter festival that's put together by Tom McDaniel on his big working cattle ranch in Hallettsville, Texas.
With lots of big cattle.
And lots of big cattle. And this year they're going to live stream that show. There's 15
Are
songwriters,
they?
and it's kind of a competition. There's a couple rounds to it. But that's where I'll be. That is the 13th of May. Oh, and actually, next weekend I'm never this busy. This is great and crazy. On the 22nd of April, I'll be playing live from the A-Frame, which is Cotty Knuckles has this great concert series just outside of LA, Pasadena area in the woods, and I will be there on the 22nd. And you know what? I'll have all of this stuff is on my website, laurazucker.com. See, I finally got there. And you can also find all of my merch there. I've got a book on songwriting. I've got a bunch of CDs. And Bandcamp is always good. And I think
So that would be laurazucker.bandcamp.com, correct?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and while there's a break in the action, I will go and confirm all that stuff. But thank you for asking, and thank you all for coming. All of y'all who are here. See, I can say that because it's Texas now.
Okay, so now, Annie, you're up. Where are you going to be next, and where can people find you online?
Well, I was thinking about it. I had time while Laura was doing
Yeah, you're
it
welcome.
was like I wasn't prepared either. But I'm actually, Rod and I are doing a show at a college campus in Toledo next week with our quartet. And the quartet is definitely going to ramp up and get busier over the summer. We've got a few festivals that we play. But we're also actually in the studio working on a new album with my boys this time. It'll be our 9th, and we're really, really excited about that. It's due out. We've got a CD release show scheduled at the Arc in Ann Arbor in June on our birthdays, June 22nd. And a whole bunch of other stuff. AnnieCabs.com is my solo project. A lot of the stuff that I'll be playing tonight. And then AnnieandRodCaps.com is where you'll find the full spectrum of all things musical
Perfect.
that we do. So thank you.
Sure. Okay, and our next show on Any Sunday Songwriters will be Beth the Sombra and Dan Hazlett, who will be down here after doing Coffeeville, which seems to keep rearing its head in this conversation. um, I'm so delighted to hear that they're going to be streaming the Songwriters Serenade. That's such a plus. It saved me a drive to Schulenburg. um, and you can find me at jansides.com if you would like to be on the mailing list for this. Down at the bottom of your Zoom screen, it says chat. And if you click on it, there's a bunch of important stuff going on over there. For one thing, there's a whole nother conversation happening there. And secondly, that's where the tip jar is. And I'm telling you that for obvious reasons. So I'm gonna stick with dark-ish for just a minute more. And this is like coming out the other side of darkish. Once I thought I knew what life was all about. Once I thought that I could plainly see who owed what to whom was how the game was played, and more important, who owed what to me. Wisdom born of pain was my philosophy. By God, I had the right to sing the blues, but I found out as sure as you are looking to get even, someone looks to get even with you. Through the years I clung to my stories, and so my stories also clung to me. With fingers tightly round my prison bars, I demanded and then begged to be set free. And always these words were there before me. Always they whispered in my ear. So why could I not hear? Forgive your family, forgive your friends, everyone who ever was or will be here again, and yourself. Make some amends. You'll find your life will be much better if you do. Forgive your debtors. Forgive your debtors. Everyone's a victim and a saint. We're all heroes, cowards, tricksters, and fools. You could go on looking for someone else to blame, or listen to that voice inside of you when it sets these words before you, when it softly whispers in your ear, until you finally hear, forgive them one, forgive them all. Everyone who pushed you or stood by and let you fall, or yourself, first of all. You'll find your life will be much better. Let it go. Forgive your debtors. Forgive your debtors. Forgive your debtors. Thank you.
Yeah, great job.
In the middle of that, my earbuds fell out.
Oh my goodness. Well, dang. You know, there's that moment where I'm like, shoot, should I play something? All right, I'm going to shift gears. partly because I promised to lighten up a little bit. So, oh, well, and that's all the better because my capo just fell off. This is a short song, and I do need to sit, so I'm gonna scoot in closer. I'm one of those people that I don't allow somebody else to point something out that's wrong with me. I prefer to tell them first before they get a chance to, because I sort of know they're thinking it anyway. You know, I might just, or so they say, but I don't know, this line came to me that I sat on for a really, really, really long time, and somehow it managed to rear its beautiful head as I was trying to make a song out of this. So this is a little confessional, a little bit about me. I've got a good left hook and a fragile right brain. And I've got a habit of dancing right into the pain, tripping over my words and ending up on the ropes. Well, I'm my own referee, and that call was too close. Gonna stand my ground, even when I know that you found me out, and it's starting to show when I come out swinging and beat you to the punch you were never gonna throw. Well, now you're down for the 10, 9, 8, and I'm out the back 6, 5, 4. So will you or won't you get up off the floor? 'Cause I'm not waiting around. Trust me, I know that look. And I can't make you take back what you never took. Gonna stand my ground, even when I know that you found me out, and it's starting to show when I come out swinging and beat you to the punch you were never gonna throw. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There ain't no way you can make me see through it. Do you really think I don't know how badly I blew it? Still I stand my ground, even when I know that you found me out, and it's starting to show when I come out swinging. I come out swinging. I come out swinging, and I beat you to the punch you were never gonna throw.
Yeah, great song.
Thank you.
That song seems like it has lots of self-reflection and taking responsibility. I loved it.
Thank you so much. Thanks. So, and thank you all for being here. This is such a lovely crowd in this room. And I have to ask, Guy, are you actually in Maui?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so jealous.
that's a picture of me, and that's a waterfall. It's actually fake. It's in Wailea in the front of a restaurant, a really 5-star, beautiful view on the other side of that. Yeah, I've been here
Amazing.
30. I've been here 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Amazing.
I'll bet
I
the
love.
view has not yet become part of the wallpaper, has it?
Well, that's not wallpaper. That's a waterfall in front of an expensive
Oh, I
restaurant.
know, but I mean the view from Maui.
But what I was going to say is that it'd be fun to get a few more women and come on over here. We could just go from one part of the island to another doing music. And I produced a show for Joni Mitchell, And I had 9 women singer-songwriters do a tribute to Joni Mitchell over here. I produced the whole thing, and I sang on a couple songs. I was too busy to sing a lot, but it was really, people still talk about that event here. It was about, I don't, quite a while ago. So
Can I unmute just to say, hell yeah, sister?
I was going to say, you're
would you
next anyway.
Go!
wait a
Yeah,
minute though?
count
Really,
me
really,
in.
I mean,
Let's go!
would you come really?
Yes,
Yes.
Well, just
I absolutely would come.
okay, good. I know that Jan's part of it. I've already seen the vision, and there's a woman named Mary Ann McAllister. She's part of the vision. So whoever, and Jackie, just whoever feels drawn, like go into the chat and put your email addresses, because I can produce something and bring you all over.
Please mention when you do that, that's what it's for, so I won't mistakenly put you on my mailing list.
Just put the Maui tour.
Yeah.
All right, I'm doing that right now, even though I'm up. Jan, could you put
Because you're really up for it.
because I really I don't want to keep everybody waiting.
Yeah.
It's perfectly all right.
Well then, since we're into reflection and what it's like to be a woman in this society, let me start by saying the name of this song is Iron the Wrinkles Back In. I've lived so much of my life just trying to smooth things out and make everything calm and, iron my clothes so I look presentable and color inside the lines and all of that stuff. And now I'm at this age and I've got these lines in my face. It's like, wait a minute. All of this stuff is like, made me think about where life actually happens, right? Is it in the keeping everything smooth and keeping everything at bay when you know damn well that's not gonna happen? It's a fool's errand. You can try as hard as you want, but stuff just happens. And I am proud of every single one of these wrinkles on my face because I've earned them. And most of them come from laughing. So how can that be a bad thing? So this is called Iron the Wrinkles Back In. This old face has seen a few days of blazing red joy, days of blue, and every line etched in deep by sand that slipped through, not mine to keep. We are tidy daffodils in the careful gardens we all till. But when clover muscles through, the soft green tangle makes the garden new. This life's a chaos colored tapestry, upside down, inside out, impermanent, imperfect, a wild, untidy thing. I'll live my life and iron the wrinkles back in. Fear of falling keeps you small, not steady, just still. Shrinking from risk, what did I miss? And have I really lived at all? Well, there are times I will regret, places not seen, friends not met. Next time round, I hope I fly. I hope I live deep and wide and high, and weave a chaos colored tapestry, upside down, inside out, impermanent, imperfect, a wild, untidy thing. I'll take this life and iron the wrinkles back in. I'll live my life and leave the wrinkles in.
Great thought.
I can relate.
Marvelous. So I'm going to do a love song because I just feel like it. But actually, I'm not. I had a request for this on another show this afternoon, and I'm going to set it up. I'm not going to do this one first, the one that you requested, Gaia. But since Laura asked me about it earlier, this I don't know how to explain this project. I thought I was writing these songs to make an album because one of the DJs that regularly shows up at Folk Alliance conferences told me, well, if you do that, it'll be a breakout album for you. Guess what? When I did that, he did not play it. Yeah, I know. Very odd. But what it is songs from biblical stories from the character you didn't get to hear from. And most often that character was a woman, not always, it turned out. So this is one of the songs from the album, but here's what happened to the project. After the album was out, somebody came up to me at the release party and said, you ought to turn that into a book. And the instant he said it, I thought, yeah, I oughta. So I did, which resulted in a debt that's kept me from recording again for a while. But it was still worth doing, and I'm glad it's in the world. And I thought, okay, now this project is done. What next? Well, what next is it's turning into a musical. And I've been working on it now for about a year. We have a first draft. We have sort of a second draft. We have all the music and even an overture. So I'm going to do a song from that original album first, and then I'll do the one you requested, Gaia, after on my next turn. He was a pious man. He was a brute, best any man in a fight. Paid for my favors, 'cause he had to. I was Delilah, woman of the night. Something about the man drew me. It wasn't love, but I pulled him to me. He'd be company while I waited for the real thing, but it got complicated. I took him as my lover, afraid to refuse. And a girl gets tired of being alone, but he had enemies who wanted to use me, so I knew I was living in a danger zone. But something about the man drew me. It wasn't love, but I pulled him to me. He'd be company while I waited for the real thing, but it got complicated. No one asked me why I did it, 'cause they all thought they knew. Here's the reason between you and me. I only took the money 'cause it meant that I'd be free. I didn't believe him. 3 times he had lied. The night he told me about cutting his hair, it sounded silly. So imagine my surprise. Now it's too late to decide that I cared. But something about the man drew me. I knew it wasn't love, but I pulled him to me. 'Cause he'd be company while I waited for the real thing. But it got complicated. Now I've no company and no hope of the real thing.
Oh, I am a fan of the dark side.
Wow.
Love it.
Thank you.
That was like a whole movie. That was great. Yeah.
That was the goal. The story was told, but it was told by the wrong person.
So, I mean, is there anybody in here who was like musical theater fans and by any chance got as obsessed with Hamilton as I did? Because, like, there's that wonderful line that George Washington was saying that, we have no control who lives, who dies, who tells our story. So it's like,
Yep.
So I feel like, to me, like I keep remembering that. That's kind of why, I've been thinking about memoir writing. I know a lot of people do it. And I'm not because I want to like suddenly be an author, but just for my own kind of sake, in case my nieces and nephews want to know a little bit more about me. I don't know. I have an uncle who passed and I wish that he had kept a diary, like just that sort of thing. Like, so yeah, people tell our stories for us, but then again, you get their experience and not your own. And so anyway, I'm just babbling now. So
But also, if we take the time to write our own story, then
Yeah.
that's what everyone has when we pass.
For that reason, I recorded my dad talking about himself for the grandchildren he's never going to get to meet.
Yeah,
And we are currently recording Andy's mom.
nice.
So,
Wow.
so that the people who
It's so good.
I know, like even now, even after having done that, I have questions that there's nobody left to answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I know. I know.
Can
All
I
right.
say one thing before I mute?
Yeah.
I wrote a book and it went out there, and then we had to reprint it a few times. It kept selling out, and it's called A Photographic Journey of the Island of Maui. But I've always felt drawn to write a book, so Spirit or whatever came and gave me the title. It's With the Wind in My Hair from 1,000 Places. And so, with the wind in my hair from 1,000 places, I traveled around the world and did some cool stuff. And so, I've got it about 2/3 of the way written right now. And it's just, I want that because, I'm in the process of death and dying right now. I want to finish it. I want to stay here long enough, so, so people can read it the way that I want them to read it and know it. I had a cool life. Okay, I'm going to mute.
Oh no, that's wonderful. I love that.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
Yeah. Good for you. That's inspiring. All right, I'm just going to play this one without an intro, except to say that my husband married a city girl, and he is very much not a city boy. Here's my turn, this is me. Second driveway on the right, just before the curve. They don't ever plow this road, you might want to take it slowly. Welcome to my world. Remember Monday's little glimpse of spring? It woke the bees, and now the hives are all covered up in snow. February's fickle that way, I am too, You see that gravel pit across the road? It used to be alive, and now those boys are out of work. I feel bad for them, I do, but I like the quiet until the neighbor's shotgun fire takes me out of my comfort. And you ask me if I ever miss the city, and I tell you there's no more neon lights to faint the stars. I swear the moon's a million times bigger out here. It's where I untangle every knot I'm tied up in and let the whole damn world disappear. Soon will be the time for planting. Maybe this year I can finally grow that little garden. Yeah, I know, but just look at all the green. Can you believe this is my backyard? So don't ask me if I ever miss the city, 'cause I'll tell you I still sometimes do. But I only sometimes do.
Wow.
That was lovely.
So sweet.
Now I know why Jan keeps showing up in these different Zooms and going, "You've got to come. They're amazing ladies. You've got to hear them." It's like, okay, she was right.
I usually am.
Yeah.
Oh, modest and modest
And
too.
modest.
That's me.
Humility abounds.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, while I have the little green box around me, Jan, thank you for creating this. Thank you for having me.
Oh.
I mean, you're such a macher, you know, and for anybody who doesn't know what that means, she just makes stuff happen all the time and creates opportunities for other people, and it's just a generous, brilliant, lovely thing to do. And so I thank you.
That always strikes me as odd. I make this because I wanted it, you know?
Yeah, but
Well, we
could just
appreciate
do
the
it,
fact
yeah.
that you want it because it works for us too. So, and don't you have something
I'll
right
second
after
that.
this? Isn't this the bookwoman thing?
Yep. Yeah.
Do you want to plug that right now?
Sure. Why not? I mean, nobody here is present in this Zoom is in Austin, but I'll say it anyway because it's kind of important. There are 4 feminist bookstores left in the United States, and one of them is here in Austin. And every year during South by, usually, we do a fundraiser, and all of the women who care about this store, and that is many, many women, get together and put on a show that lasts for hours at Bookwoman, and all the funds go to the store. And of course, people go shopping while they're there. I always do because I can't resist. I have no resistance. Anyway, so this year there were still not enough people. It's a smallish space, and there were still not enough people that feel comfortable like that. And there's still people getting COVID. So we opted to have this songwriting circle that is happening today. It's going to start in 4 minutes, but I'm not going to get there for till an hour from now. And I'm going to slide in like sliding into home base with my guitar in one hand and my mic stand in the other and join in, which I am delighted to do because I really believe in this place and I want to see it prosper and last until my granddaughters can take advantage of it. And there. It's called Bookwoman. It's on North Lamar. And if you're in Austin, it would serve you and the store so well if you would go and enjoy the music.
What a win-win. We get to keep you and then they get you when you slide on in.
Well, it was in preference to not being able to do it at all. So, and I really want to help. I really believe in this place. So anyway,
Can I shop online?
you can. It's at I want to say it's at ebookwoman.com.
But you might be lying.
Might be lying about the E.
Okay. I will find it.
Okay.
Um, so Annie, that song, oh my gosh, how just sweet and wonderful. About reflecting on really who you are, what the essence of you is, and how you can change over time. And I think that's one of the things that I've been trying to do. And the thing that keeps running through my head is, don't believe everything you think, right? Even about yourself. So that's sort of what this next song is about. This is called High Wire. It was just one of those things you never see coming. One of those things you can't even try running from. The kind that hits you right between the eyes. The best, worst kind of surprise. I am running, running, running through time. Slipping through the snags that held me. If I were another kind of person, it might not have been the ties that blind along the high wire. This high wire. Because I know this song because I wrote it, and the next words are like the ring that fell in the sand while I was digging, buried by my frantic ways while I was searching for another something. The kind of thing that happens when everything seems fine. The best, worst kind of surprise. I am flying, flying through a dark sky, fighting winds that once held me. If I were another kind of bird, they might have been the winds of life along this high wire. The high wire. All those ancient charts I heeded while I drifted with the tide, craving, cleaving, carving, clearing. If I'd stopped to listen, I'd have heard a different song, and I would have fallen headlong off of the high wire. This high wire.
And the hits
Absolutely
just
love that
keep
one.
on coming.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I love that so much.
Gorgeous. So, this is the one that Gaia requested this morning, and I didn't have my guitar set up, so I couldn't do it
It
for her.
is so funny. Oh my God. I laughed so hard. So did her whole audience. I watched.
This was the video she watched was at the Hotel Cafe in Los Angeles, And yeah, that was fun. Um, so here's the deal. After I wrote a few like Delilah's Lament, it got kind of dark and gloomy at my house. And every time I headed for my guitar, I would kind of like, oh, I don't know, you know? So I decided I needed something lighthearted and funny. You ever gone looking for humor in the Bible? You kind of have to bring it, you know? You just pick out who you think should have it and you bring it to them. So this was one of those, and this was the character I chose. She's sort of nebulous, but here she is. Dear Mama, you ask if I am enjoying my place as Solomon's latest wife. Yeah, it's got its moments. What can I say? It's a life. Right now, I'm his darling, and I'm calling that a plus. Though the other wives say his attentions will fade when a new face inspires his lust. Well, that's why there's so many of us. No, Mom, he doesn't sing like his father did. At least not when he's with me. But he's built a beautiful temple, Mama, and he writes decent poetry. Oh, he's a glorious king, to be sure, and masterful in the boudoir. And you might think that's all he is good for, but really, he's pretty smart. Just last week, 2 women quarreled about a baby they both claimed. When he offered to cut the child in 2, we all thought he'd gone insane. But it sure got that knot untangled, so if he doesn't sing like his father did, he's still all right with us, 'cause he's built a beautiful temple, Mama, and his poetry makes us blush. Well, Mom, I gotta go now. I'll try to write more later, 'cause it seems there's a queen needs my room for a bit. And they say that she's wealthy and oh so bewitching. And the king's so excited he's positively twitching, and I just became second rate. But oddly enough, I don't hate her, 'cause he doesn't sing like his father did. And I'm bored with his poetry. So though he's built a beautiful temple, Mama, she can have him, it's okay with me.
You should see, go see it when she's doing it and how she worked the crowd. She just had them on the edge of their chair. It was uproariously funny.
There
Yeah,
were a bunch
Jan,
of people that knew before I said it what I was talking about.
you're a bit of an actress there, lady. I get that. I can see that in you. Oh gosh, but
That is
now
a brilliant song, really
what a
brilliant.
Thank
yeah,
you, ma'am.
very, very.
It's funny when you say thank you, ma'am, because I was asked to lead a Zoom, like host a Zoom in Austin, Texas. And of course I live in Hawaii 30 years, but the Austin, Texas, they want to open up the room and have me host it. So I said sure, because I'm open, and I came in there. It was on a Saturday afternoon, I think, my time. Of course, we were 3 hours different, like we are now, Texas and Hawaii. And I go in there, and here comes all these cowboys and cowgirls, and everybody looks like they're chaps and etc. And some of them I knew, and some I didn't. And I open up the room. Oh my God, they've been coming in this room forever with amongst themselves. And I go, aloha, y'all, I guess.
By the way, Janet has put the link for Bookwoman in the chat. So, and it does have an E in front of it. So go visit.
All right. I'm gonna guess there might be time for one more round after this.
Yes, if we do short songs from here on out.
And talk less, or I will talk less. I'm not gonna even. This is a new one that will go on our new record. So I feel like I'm going to give it a whirl. We're on a love theme today, so. But I wrote this for my nephew. When your body lost the will to swim, and you cannot move a single limb. It takes all you've got to feel the pulse inside your veins. Remember what Mama said, love comes round, round again. How we pickle the pain in the salt of tears, and moonshine for the times when reason loses to our fears. If Daddy says you've gotta take it on the chin, remember what Mama said, love comes round, round again. Twinkle, twinkle, little heart, how I wonder where you are. On the shaky, shaky ledge between now and nevermore, slip and lose the battle, not the war. And as you're falling, simply focus on the net and remember what Mama said, love comes round, round again. Twinkle, twinkle, little heart, how I wonder where you have faith in the ones you left in the dust. Head on back to them when there is no one you can trust. They'll be waiting to let you and all your baggage in. And remember what Mama said, love comes round, round again. Remember what Mama said. Love comes round again. Love comes round again. You can sing along. Love comes round again. Love comes round again. Love comes round.
Lovely.
Thank you.
So you're telling me I should talk less and sing more? Is that possible?
Did I say that?
All right. So we can get another round in. The subtitle of this, if there were one, would be When Joni Mitchell Met the Buddha. But the real title is And it's not on my new record. It's on the record before my new record. Oh, I just happen to have it here, called Say Yes. This is a philosophy I'm trying to embody. It's called What Are We For? What are we for? There must be more than meets the eye. Though I might try, I can't quite figure it out. 'Cause if we are stardust, if we are golden, but we're kept from the garden by holding on, can't we dig as one in this sacred dirt and cultivate a garden here on earth? How can I be something that's free from mortal ties? 'Cause while I'm alive, my spirit moves with me. 'Cause if we are stardust, if we are golden, but we're kept from the garden by holding on, can't we dig as one in this sacred dirt and cultivate our garden here on earth? Well, I can't see through the mist of this mystery. Could it be I'm not supposed to know? Just sit back and let our garden grow. 'Cause if we are stardust, if we are golden, but we're kept from the garden by holding on, can't we dig as one in this sacred dirt and cultivate our garden here on earth? Let's cultivate a garden here on earth.
My goodness.
Oh,
Great sentiment. So,
Beautiful melody, beautiful everything.
Thank you. Could you not have anything positive to say?
Nope, sorry.
All right, I'll have to make do.
it's
So
inspirational.
I just realized we are pretty much around the world today. Janet and Phil, who has left us now because it's very late in Israel, they're both in Israel. Jackie's in the UK. Maya's got the Pacific covered. So we circle the globe today. And Earth Day is coming up. So I just thought I'd mention it because it's really Earth Week or Earth Month or Lord help us.
We have on Maui Earth Day. We have a big Earth Day celebration here. So
Oh,
we've
good.
come full circle. We've
Yeah.
come first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it.
So this is, I have a friend who is very passionate about climate change, and I wrote this for something he was doing online. I wrote him several songs, and this is my favorite of all of them. Magnetic fields fight their way across the skies and show us brilliant colors, the northern lights, and we are all reminded the beauty we have here, how fortunate we are to have protective atmosphere. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us that there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. Celestial looms weave the darkness into light that dance above the planets to dazzle human eyes, and we are all reminded of vast eternity and how fortunate we are, however briefly, just to be. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. It's a beautiful and deadly universe, and everything that we hold dear depends on our next choice. 'Cause though we send our rockets up to land on planet Mars, or lie back on a hillside to admire the stars, the northern lights remind us with their shimmering towers how fortunate we are to have this earth of ours. And the home we share, the northern lights remind us, has water and air. The northern lights remind us there's no guarantee, there's no guarantee. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us. The northern lights remind us.
Wow, I love that one.
Oh, I'm so glad you wrote that song.
Yeah.
So this is our last round, but before we do it, I want to thank Annie Capps and Laura Zucker for saying yes to this. I'm always delighted and a little astonished when people do, and really, I have so much admiration for both of you. I'm so glad you said yes.
Well, the feeling's mutual, and thank you for doing this so much. I've always been a fan of yours, Jan, and now I'm a fan of Laura's, and I can't wait to do a deep dive in some more music. And thank you all, the rest of you, for being here. That just makes it better. I learned that you can't copyright a title, so this song is called Yesterday.
Hey.
There's a lot of themes of grief on my record as well. I've been far too busy lately, filling up my plate with things that leave a really nasty taste in my mouth. Overly consumed with all the ways we're doomed while trying to make room for what I should be leaving out. But yesterday I listened to my breath for the first time in ages. I read a real book made out of paper and got through almost 7 pages. But I've come dangerously close to picking up the phone to boast about the way all my anger has subsided. But everywhere I look, there's evidence of crooked and creative ways it took for me to try and hide it. But yesterday a sunbeam hit the curtains for the first time in ages. I still don't understand why grief has to go through so damn many stages. But when the needle on the record dances across the same word, someone else who isn't me might pick it up and move it over to a new song. But that would feel so wrong with the solace I find when I'm stuck inside this groove. But yesterday I chose to wear mascara for the first time in ages, as the force field round my bleeding heart finally disengages. And yesterday my inner songbird sang out for the first time in ages, and all the doors flew open on her tortured little cages. Yeah, all the doors flew open.
That was just gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Thank you very much. Thanks again, Dan.
No, I'm unmuted. I was just playing. Um, oh, Annie, this has been just a pleasure getting to hear you. And again, yes, also going to do a deep dive. Jan, thanks again for maching the things you mach, doing the things you want to do, and including me. And thank you everybody who took some time out from this afternoon to join us. I hope that our paths cross sooner rather than later. And, you know, you keep setting me up, because the song I'm going to finish with is sort of the reverso. It's like that moment when you stop and you realize that what it is you've been looking for, you already have. It's called Takes the Shape of You. There's a kind of joy that wells up like a fountain, climbs me like a mountain, carries me off in its rising tide. It's the kind of joy I can barely keep inside me. It takes the shape of you. You are my dream, you are my heart, where I will finish, where everything starts. How could I know that the piece that was missing, what I was wishing to bursting, the kind that makes the birds sing, the kind that unlocks a captive heart. It's the kind of love that's a bullseye dart, and it takes the shape of you. You are my dream, you are my heart, where I will finish, where everything starts. How could I know that the piece that was missing, what I was wishing for, was you? Are the road to my heart's home. I had stumbled down alone. You are my dream, you are my heart, where I will finish, where everything starts. How could I know that the piece that was missing, what I was wishing for, was you? It was you. What I was wishing for was you.
Yay!
Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, I just have to make sure I'm in tune because I might not be. So I was going to do a similar song to that, dedicated to my husband, who has. We've had the same conversation about city girl versus country boy many times. I thought it would be a good thing to move to the country, and I had several friends who had done it. And then Samsung bought some land down the road and dynamited to put in their cornerstone. And I thought, there's not going to be a whole lot of country left. And I bet all those people that bought land around Palmer Lane, where Samsung now is building, bet they're pretty disappointed about their country property. So I'll just stay here in the city. But it still comes up from time to time. Maybe I don't remember how this one goes either. There it is. Just one more string away. This has to do with kintsugi, which is the Japanese art of putting back together broken clay items and making them even more beautiful than they were. And it also has to do with Leonard Cohen's There's a Crack in Everything, that's how the light gets in. Except that's also how the light gets out. All the lessons you learned are gold. All the scars where you healed are strong. You may once or twice have been broken, but you've done nothing wrong. All the outcomes that didn't match, all your plans and all your dreams, all that beauty you think you lack is ablaze for all to see. And your light shines through, your light shines through. It's what makes you you. And the cracks are there so your light shines, your light shines. All the obstacles in your path, all the trials you rose above, all those faults that you think you have, they are why you are loved. 'Cause your light shines through, your light shines through. That's what makes you you. And the cracks are there so your light shines, your light shines. It's true, you are not perfect, but no one is perfect, and that matters so much less than you'd expect. 'Cause your light shines through, your light shines through, and that's what makes you you. And the cracks are there, so your light shines, your light shines, your light shines through, your light shines through, and it makes you you. And the cracks are there, so your light shines, your light shines through. And that's dedicated to the two of you and to everybody else here. Thank you all for being here. Can we all uncloak to say goodbye? Any other Star Trek fans here?
Uncloak.
Yeah.
Then there we go. Yeah, live long and
Okay. I can
hello. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to. Oh no. I forgot to record this.
I guess we'll just have to do it again. Okay.
Yeah, that fine with me.
All over.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I just got so excited. I just never even thought of it. But anyway, I'm so glad y'all were here, and maybe it'll stay on Facebook for a while. So if you want to hear anything again, you can go there to listen. Once again, thank you to Laura Zucker. Thank you to Annie Caps.
Thank you.
Thank you to
Thank you,
Jen
Laura.
Sides. Wow. And
Yay.
may we all meet again in Maui.
Wouldn't that be something?
I'm up for it. We have a timeshare on the Big Island, so
I'm only 5 hours away. I've got a head start on y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
We'll visit. Laura, we're going to come to California because we got friends over there and we've been threatening. So
Now you've got more friends over
I
here.
know. I'm super excited that, yeah, it's been long.
Oh, and
overdue,
come to think
so.
of it, I'm going to be in Northern California in very short order in August, so I'll get in touch with you about that.
Oh,
I'm going to
absolutely.
stop the